Tom here, welcome back to my movie channel and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the brand new film, A House with the Clock in Its Walls. But before we get into this review, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. The House with the Clock in Its Walls stars Jack Black, Cate Blanchett, and Owen Vaccaro, and is the story of Owen Vaccaro's character Lewis, who goes to live with his uncle Jonathan, played by Jack Black, in this weird house of magic and wonder. And they have to then find the clock that's in the walls of this creepy, weird house. Okay, so when I saw the trailers for this movie, I thought this movie looks a little weird and could be quite a bit of fun. Walked in, saw the movie. This movie's definitely a full-on kids movie. And I'm going to get into the positives and the negatives, but we'll start with some positives, because there are some positives. The first thing I really enjoyed about this movie was the magical aspect of it, and some of the elements that are within the house themselves. There is a sense of wonder and a sense of magic to the movie. Not as much as maybe I would have wanted, but I'll get into that when I get into the negatives. But it does have that sense of magic and a little bit of a sense of wonder. And there is a sense of fun to it in certain areas of the film, and there's some humor that I definitely did enjoy through the film, some gags that were quite funny. There is actually a poop gag in the movie, which normally cheap poop jokes don't work for me in most movies, but in this movie, it's quite funny. Now, Jack Black is an actor who I really like. Obviously, if you saw, I did a review a couple of weeks ago of The School of Rock, which is my favorite movie that Jack Black is in, and I think he's great in that movie. And I was talking to my friend as we were walking to see the film, and he said, you know, he's not really a big fan of Jack Black as an actor. And I was defending Jack Black, and I walked in and we're watching House with the Clock in Its Walls, and I'm saying to myself, man, Jack Black sucks in this movie. It's not that I don't think he was trying, it's just that he just got annoying and he just was almost too over the top for what this movie is. When you compare him to, say, Cate Blanchett, and she is in this film and she is a great actress. She's one of the top 3 actresses in the world, in my opinion, right now. The problem is that she did nothing in the movie. Although she was good, there was nothing for her character to do, and her character ultimately didn't serve much of a major purpose as far as the story goes. She's just kind of there, and she's like the next door neighbor. She's also has like magical connections, but she didn't do much in the movie. And if you're gonna cast Cate Blanchett, you gotta use her. I think this movie probably would have been better served with Cate Blanchett as the lead and Jack Black as a secondary character. So if you literally just reverse the roles, and instead of Lewis going to stay with his uncle Jonathan, he goes to stay with Cate Blanchett's character, and Jack Black's character is the next door neighbor, I think the movie might not have been improved by much, but it might have been a bit better, and she might have brought something a bit more to the film as a lead. And Jack Black really isn't that great of a lead in this film, even though he's been the lead in, say, School of Rock, which again I really enjoyed, and I think he's a great lead. And Jack Black certainly can carry a movie, just in this film I don't think he was really the right choice to carry the film, especially when you have someone the caliber of a Cate Blanchett in the film as well, who's relegated to a side role. Now look, this film is a kids film. It is targeted as a kids film, but that doesn't mean that we let it get away with its trespasses. And here's the thing, this film is a kids film, but it is only a kids movie. See, what makes something like The Incredibles so great, what makes something like most of the Pixar movies so great, is that they are kid-friendly films. There is stuff for the kids and there is stuff for the adults and the older people in the audience. And this movie is just purely a kids movie, so the people who are taking their kids to go see this movie aren't probably going to have that great of a time and are going to walk out not feeling like they were entertained, and a movie should be able to entertain everybody at once. And when you're making a movie targeted specifically to kids, you also have to cater to the adults, and there was none of that in The House with the Clock in Its Walls. However, I will say that I did like the resolution and the ending of this movie. I just thought it was kind of a heartwarming ending, and I enjoyed the ending of the movie, but overall The House with the Clock in Its Walls to me is quite a disappointment. I felt like it definitely could have been more than it was, and it missed on a lot of things that it probably should have had, and it does have that element of wonder and magic to it, but it needed more of it. and the elements that it did have were just the very basic elements. This movie is very surface level, it's a very basic film, and overall I feel like if it had tried to cater a bit more to the general movie-going audience, adults and kids, rather than just purely be a kids movie, it might have been a better film. But otherwise, guys, thank you very much for watching my review of The House with the Clock in Its Walls. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. I don't recommend going to see The House with the Clock in Its Walls. Don't waste your money unless you have kids and they're dying to see it for some reason. But otherwise, guys, thank you very much for watching. My name is Tom, and I will see you guys next time.